share this with our page?
Yep.
All right, thanks. Let's see if we're live yet. All right, boom, now we're live. What's up? All right, thanks. Let me mute that so I don't get the echo 19er. All right, hey, happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday. Welcome to the wonderful world of Now Lifestyle and the fabulous Facebook group over here. And I could see we already got people joining and chiming in. So welcome. It's Friday. It's the day after Thursday, the day before Saturday, whatever you guys want to call it. We got some really awesome, super wicked rock stars on the team. And yeah, I said wicked because I'm from New England. But we're going to have some fun. Oh, Gregory Schmidt in the house. There was a Cabo rock star right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a little bit of fun tonight. And thank you guys for joining us. Those that jump on now, jump on later, watch the replay, whatever. And we're going to talk about basically making that decision, taking action. And we're going to hear from Parker. Correct me if I'm wrong, but is this your first webinar?
This is my first live webinar.
Well, welcome to the dance, my friend. Welcome to the dance.
It sure is, yeah.
Oh, hold on a second. Eagle Dan Baxter is in the house. What's going on there?
Hi.
What's going on, bro?
Courtney's in the house. Greg's in the house. Vladimir's in the house. Patsy's in the house. David Haynes is joining us. Awesome. Cool.
Up,
So tonight we're gonna put Parker on the hot seat because this is his very first webinar. And for those that do happen to surround themselves with me, that's what happens is at some point you're going to be on a webinar. If you want to be a rising star, if you want to be Brad's in the house, Jennifer's in the house. Is that your Jennifer's in the house, Parker?
Gonzalez?
Yeah.
She's supposed to be chiming in, so we may see her face here shortly.
All right. That'd be awesome. Perfect. So before we get going, I just want to kind of go around the room here and introduce everybody. For those that don't know me, my name is Daniel Kump from Derry, New Hampshire. And what am I? Oh, hold on. Wait. I'm now a Ruby with Now Lifestyle.
Nice.
So pretty awesome there. Yeah, plaque and all. Got that in Cabo. But super excited to be here and super excited to just be part of everything that's going on right now. And you guys have no clue. It's like mind blowing the stuff that we're working on in the background that is going to catapult everybody here that's watching this. So many amazing things that are happening that I don't even have all day to tell you all about it because it's nuts. But besides myself, we have Juana from Chicago. Welcome. Thanks for joining us.
Hey guys.
We have Shane from McKinney, Texas, I believe, right? Shane's in the house.
Yes, sir.
All right, welcome,
back,
sir.
Too.
Yeah, good to have you, man. And obviously we have Parker. I know, Parker, you're from Texas too. Where in Texas you from?
Houston,
yeah. And I heard that you guys had some rough goings. You and Jennifer had some rough goings, huh? Some of the water?
Yeah. You know, my house survived. I didn't have any flooding anywhere around the neighborhood. We didn't have flooding, but Jennifer didn't make out so well. She had about 5 foot of water in her house. So
wow, that's crazy.
Her first floor is pretty much gone.
So that's horrible, dude. Well, sorry that you guys are going through that, but hopefully, everything will work itself out, and you'll surround yourself with great people down there and be able to bounce back.
Right. Yeah, it really brought the community together. I mean, just everybody's just coming together and just kind of, putting their animosities aside and just helping each other build everything back up. So
that's awesome.
It's been great.
It's awesome when that happens. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to share my screen with you guys right now. And then we're going to hear a little bit from Parker. Like I said, we're going to put him on the hot seat here and have a little bit of fun. So you guys can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, cool.
Good.
So one of the first things that we're going to talk about tonight is making your decision. What makes you, or anybody watching this, what makes you move forward? Making that decision to get started, to build a business, to I like to put it this way, whatever result that you want in your life, it's making that decision to get that result. And that result could be anything, more time with family, traveling the beaches of the world, having just the time freedom to do what you want and where you want, But it's all about making that decision. And we're going to talk about taking massive, massive imperfect action. And I say imperfect because nobody's perfect when they start, but it's all about taking massive imperfect action and not being afraid of what other people think. And in this type of business, we run into that all the time. Okay. So, so obviously we're going to talk about that. And obviously staying consistent. Consistency is key, and consistency is one thing for at least me. And I know many of the folks here that are on this Zoom tonight is the more consistent you are, the more consistent results you will get. It's pretty much that simple. Then we're going to talk about your why a little bit, because your why helps fuel your decision. And Parker, I'm sure you have a very strong why, which is why you're here. And Juana, I know you do. And Shane, I know you do as well. And of course I do. But we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about events. And Parker, I know that the event in Cabo was very significant for you, and it was very significant for Jennifer. So we're definitely going to hear about that. And Juana, you can certainly share your experience from Cabo as well. And then obviously we're going to talk about stretching out of your comfort zone. And I know Shane, you have definitely stretched out of your comfort zone a little bit between doing some videos and jumping on webinars and some other things. So we're going to talk about that type of stuff as well. So other than that, let me just bounce out of this here real quick. So Parker, tell me, what made you decide to, build a business online? What made you decide to, get out of, or whatever corporate world you're in or whatever job you had? What made you want to build a business, and what made you want to get started with Now Lifestyle?
Yeah. Okay, great. Yeah. So the number one reason why I wanted to start my online business was to have the time freedom. You hear about and you see a lot of people out there making, hundreds of thousands of dollars a year and upwards of, millions of dollars a year. For me, it wasn't really about the money. It was about having that time to do whatever I wanted, whenever I wanted. So that was the main drive behind me saying, okay, you know what? I have a great career in the oil and gas industry. I was making over 6 figures a year as a project manager. I had been doing it for 16 years, and I had it made, you know what I mean? But I didn't have I lost my fire for it. I lost my passion for it. And I was just sick and tired of having to, it was dictating my time, and I just couldn't do what I wanted in life. You know what I mean? So I said, I started looking for other avenues, and, obviously the online industry is just, is booming right now. And I know it's going to be the future as we continue to progress. We're transitioning from that, that industrial age to the informational age. And it's the future. And so I said, well, that's the direction I'm going to go. So, to answer your question, it was to have time freedom. And of course, with time freedom comes just you have more time to spend with your family and just do the things you really want to do in life. Just live life on your terms.
So if you could just elaborate a little bit more, like I know for me, I had a very significant point in time. I can even pinpoint the date on a calendar. For you, share with everybody, what was that specific point in time where you said, I'm going to make this happen? Because I know like you went all into Now Lifestyle, you started taking massive action, which we'll talk about in a few, as it sounds like Jennifer did as well. And you can certainly share, who she is and who she is to you and who she is on your team. But, what was the turning point for you where you just said, I'm doing this, I'm going to make it happen?
The Now Lifestyle, or just online in general? Just
building a business for yourself and just becoming that entrepreneur so you can have that time freedom.
Yeah. Basically, so I got into the online world back in July of last year. That's when I first started dabbling in it. Okay. And so I just kind of tiptoed around. I was looking at different opportunities. I got into a few of them and just kind of tested the waters. But it wasn't really until maybe December or even January of this year did I say, okay, you know what? I'm going to stop just idling around, and I'm just going to put the pedal to the metal, and I'm going to give everything else up. and do this full time, because I knew in my mind and in my heart, this is what I wanted. So in February 26th, I got out of the oil and gas industry, and I've been focusing on this full time now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, yeah, I mean, your story resonates with me because it sounds very, very familiar to a lot of us, really, where, sometimes when you first get started in a business, you kind of tiptoe around, you dance around, you don't really make that full on commitment. For some, it's like something earth shattering happens. Sometimes it's just a mental decision. Sometimes there's just that point when we can all sit back and think, and, for you, it was February 26th. For me, it was July 15th, and I'm sure Juana and Shane have those same memories of, you just know that point or moment in time where you're like, you know what, I'm going to go for it. And obviously you made that decision, you jumped in, you started taking massive action. And I think within, I don't know, like your first few days, you already sponsored, between you and Jennifer, you already sponsored what, 20, 25 people or something like that?
Yeah, it's something about around there. Yeah. I forget what the exact number is.
One of the things that, it's tough for everybody to fathom when they first start is taking that massive imperfect action, because people think, I got to watch every video. I got to get it right. I got to be 100% perfect, or else, I might fail. But I mean, you just jumped in and went for it. So take us through, like, what did, from day one, once you said, I'm going for this, what did you start doing?
Well, I just, let's see, let me back up a little bit. I signed up with, Now Lifestyle during that whole pre-enrollment thing. I think it was back in March.
Mm-hmm.
I had met up with Vincent we were in Hawaii at another event for, Digital Altitude. And that actually Joel was there as well. And they literally had just announced this thing was going, that this was going to be a company. And so I got in right then and there, but I never really did anything about it. And I pressed along, working on the other opportunities. Like I said, I just never did anything about it. And if you recall, I reached out to you. I said, hey, I'm getting these emails in every single day, like 3, 4, 5, sometimes 10 emails a day, those non-personal downline signups.
Yeah. Your team was growing without you doing anything.
Yeah. I said, man, okay. I said, I think I have something here. I need to be, putting forth some energy and effort into this, because I know it can be beneficial. So I reached out to Daniel, and I was like, dude, what's going on with this? And that's when you told me about it. And then, so I started looking at it a little bit, and then you said, hey, are you available, whatever the dates were, we were in Cabo for that event. And I said, and I'm always down to travel, and I'm always down to further my education and knowledge. And I had made the decision that I was going to start doing this Now Lifestyle thing, pretty heavily. So I was like, I have to go. And let me tell you something about that event. I really had nothing. I knew a little bit about the autoresponder and everything like that. And, but I didn't necessarily have a lot of knowledge about how the business worked and everything it has to offer. And so I went over there, and, I just I hung out with these guys, and I listened to Joel's vision, and you can just feel the passion and energy in the room when he was when everybody was talking about the business. And it was powerful. And I really had no idea how robust this system is and where it's going. Was the home-based business and like the health industry. It's like the two top industries. And this one focuses in on both of those kind of all in one. So it's a win-win no matter how you look at it. And I'm just super excited about it. I really am. I really am. And you can probably see it in my face.
Oh, heck yeah, dude. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously, like, once you start taking massive imperfect action, staying consistent is something that, like I mentioned in the beginning, consistent action equals consistent results. And a lot of times when people first join a business, they'll do a little bit of action in the beginning, and then they'll expect some really big, huge, great result. And that's when a lot of people quit, because they think it's all like, you know, I'll become a millionaire just by signing up, or I'll be rolling in bank just for signing up. But, you know, one of the things, at least for me, because I'm on your mailing list, I can see that, you know, you email pretty consistent, and your emails are pretty good too. Just to give credit where credit's due there, I think your emails are pretty good, and I have a little swipe copy folder, and I even think I have some of yours in there. So,
I got some of yours too, brother.
Trust me, I know. I've seen them come out, and I was like, oh, that one looks familiar. But I mean, staying consistent is something that, you know, if both of you guys would, you know, Shane and Parker, tell the people watching here, you know, what are some things on a day-to-day basis that you guys do to stay consistent with your business? Now, I know emails could be part of that. You know, Shane, you're really big into, you know, monitoring your traffic and stuff like that. But just give everybody like a couple of tips or a couple of things that you guys do every day just to stay consistent and stay on top of your business.
Yeah. Shane, you want me to go ahead?
Yep, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, basically, I have a routine when I get up in the morning. Obviously, we all check our emails to see how many sales we made overnight, right? Okay, so, you know, that's what I do while I'm having my coffee. And then I'll typically send out, you know, a broadcast in the morning. And then I'll just kind of check and see what happened overnight or whatnot.
So, Parker, real quick, let me just reiterate and make sure that I and everyone else am hearing this correctly. So you email your list every single day?
My list is getting 2 emails from me every day.
Perfect.
And it sometimes
it's okay to email your list every day, folks.
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Depending on where they're at in my follow-up sequence, I mean, they could be getting an email in the morning, noon, and then in the evening sometimes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
But a minimum of twice a day.
Boom.
Yeah. And that's, I mean, that's basically it. You know, I go to bed, I have a whiteboard in here like we all should, or we all do, or at least we all should.
Get the whiteboards there, yeah.
I've always got a to-do list that I write down, and I go over it, and I even go over it before I go to bed at night. So I'll wake up and I know exactly what I have to do, and then I just do what's written down and just check it off and erase it and start figuring out what I'm going to do the next day.
So every day you give yourself something to do, some task to accomplish, whether it be a video, an email, or something, whatever.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Absolutely. If I didn't do that, I wouldn't get stuff done.
Yep. Perfect.
Would you say that it took a while, like not just with Now Lifestyle, because this one, it's already, you know, like your whatever number opportunity, so you already know what you're doing. But from the beginning, would you say it took a while until you saw results the first time?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, this has been a long road in terms of learning, figuring out what works and what doesn't work. It's trial and error, and it's tough sometimes, you know.
Yeah, and the reason I was asking that is because most people come in and they want to know like a specific number. Oh, how long did it take you until you did this or you made some money? It's different for everybody. So it's just taking your time.
Yeah, absolutely. And just like we're talking about consistency, that's really the key, and just being persistent. Just stay focused. Stay focused on what you're fighting for, what you're working towards, and just let that continue to fuel you. Don't let the road bumps that you're going to always run into, don't let those, they can slow you down a little bit, but don't ever let them stop you. And just keep pushing and enjoy it. It's a learning experience.
Mm-hmm.
The downs are they're learning experiences, and we need to embrace them and use them to our advantage at all times.
Yep, I agree, 100%.
One thing I've learned about consistency is that sometimes really consistency really isn't always doing the exact same thing over and over again. Now, there's some fundamentals that you learn when you get started, and those you want to stay consistent with. But one thing that I found was constantly changing and trying new things. Every single day when I wake up, first thing I like to do is I like to pray. I like to thank the Creator above for everything that I have, all the blessings He's given me, and just remind myself of where I am and this incredible opportunity that I have. And then the next thing, I like to drink my coffee, check my sales. I think, we all want to make sure we're doing well, right? Everything that we did the day previously, the month previous, and to see where we are. And then I'll spend some time every single morning sort of tweaking ads, tweaking my capture pages. And that's what I mean. Sometimes consistency is actually changing things, trying new things, because I am constantly tweaking and changing my headlines, my capture pages, my ads, everything around the marketing. So that is something that I like to do every single day before I do anything. Before I write a single piece of code, before I walk outside, this is what I'm doing. So, but that's sort of my day-to-day morning routine is getting up, praying, and then obviously checking metrics for all of my analytics for the ads that I've been running, and then tweaking things if need be. So.
I think that's where a lot of new people have a really hard time with. They usually have the idea that if they have one capture page and one email style and one video put together, that's all you have to ever do, and just reuse those a million times. And that's not always the case. Just with our lives too. Like sometimes you'll talk about business, sometimes you'll talk about mindset, sometimes you'll just do something super personal and just tell them how your day was. You got to change it up. You got to see what works, because using the same capture page too over and over and over, it gets saturated after a while. You have to play around with pictures, headlines, colors, everything and anything under the sun just to see which one is more catchy. And if you don't do that, and if you don't test, you're never going to know. And that's a really bad reason to give up just because you tried one thing and it didn't work.
Yeah, and a good rule of thumb there is once you've put a capture page together, an ad together, once you put a campaign together, let it run for at least a week. At least a week before tearing it down and starting, trying something different. So.
And I never do like complete scratch off. We just change little things. So it's not always so much work. You just make small tweaks here and there that it doesn't take a lot of time.
Right. So, Juana, if you would, because we were talking about consistency. Share with everybody a little bit, kind of combined with comfort zone, pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, and some of that consistency too, because one of the things that you've been really good at is doing Facebook Lives and doing more videos. And it seems like, maybe like a couple of months ago, that might've been something that you were, a little hesitant to do. Now you're doing them every single day. So take people through, that mindset shift where you knew that was something that you wanted to do, you had to do, and, now some of your consistency with that.
Well, so the first couple of months when I started, it's obviously information overload. And I spent way too much time just trying to learn, everything, how to write emails, how to do this, how to put together videos and everything like that. And I don't have a lot of time. I like to spend my time with my son when I come home and everything. So most of the time I only had about an hour every night to work on my business. So I started thinking, how can I do, and use that time most efficiently as possible? Because if I'm doing everything, it doesn't work and I don't have enough hours in the day. But in order to be able to do and to get my message across the fastest, I decided on going with the lives, because it literally takes 5 to 10 minutes the most. I usually talk pretty fast so I can get a lot of words in. And since I'm usually smiling, people look at it. So it was the easiest way for me to just get my point across, because it saves me a lot of time. And Facebook likes it. I get pretty good engagement from it. So it works. I can't say that I'm not doing the other ones, like the email and everything a little bit too. But the lives for me, for some reason, I enjoy them the most. It's not scripted. Whatever comes to my mind that, minute, I can just talk about it. If I mess up, oh well, who cares? Tomorrow is another day. And it's just easy. It's easier for me than to do a scripted video that I actually have to memorize or, anything like that. So I like them. I encourage you guys to do them. If you can, just step out of the comfort zone. Talk about anything that comes to your mind that day. Read a book if you have to, a couple pages, and you'll have a topic.
Now, one thing I found that...
No, go ahead, Shane.
I was just going to say, one thing that I found about video, it really helped me actually basically be able to compose emails, because it's so much easier just to talk it out. And once you've gotten it out, you can actually sit down and write a pretty good email based on that video. So I started doing video pretty early on, because I first of all, I saw the power of it. People connect with you so much easier that way through video. I mean, they can see you, they can hear you. It doesn't matter what you look like, what you sound like. People are going to connect with you. It's just the nature of who we are. We're just humans. We like to connect with other people. And video is a very powerful tool to be able to do that. So when you use video, it can really help you compose emails as well. So not just connect personally with your email list, but also compose your emails.
Exactly. And so many times I'll download my live video and I'll send it off to my list, because it's easier to just, pass off my bubbly personality to them that way than in the written form. So it works. It's easier.
Awesome. Yep. And I mean, realistically, videos are how most of us that are here in this room got connected, because, Juana, you saw one of my webinars that I was doing with Nick. Shane, I think you saw my Facebook live that I was doing with the OSP guys and wanted to connect there. And, videos, you never know who is going to resonate with you, because no matter what your story is, who you are, what you're doing, you're always going to connect with somebody else. A lot of people don't realize that. So speaking of connecting, hold on, I just had a non-personal. Let's see who's winning tonight. Paige Brockman, congratulations. So Parker, obviously you made the decision to not only get started with Now Lifestyle and make a go at it, but obviously you were in Cabo too. You went to the event, you got to see the leaders, hear from the leaders, hear Joel's vision, as you said. And it seems to me like that event had a pretty significant impact on not only you, but, your partner, Jennifer. So tell us a little bit tell everybody about like what that event really did for you guys.
Well, I mean, I know what it did for me, and that really just kind of, I was already excited about it, but it just kind of exploded inside of me, if you will. So, but for Jennifer, Jennifer had no knowledge of it whatsoever. And I think it really blew her away. I don't think she was expecting to experience what she did before she got over there. I obviously she knows a little bit about what I do, and I share things, like what takes place at these events and everything. But it's really kind of hard it's one thing to just listen to what somebody's saying about it, and it's another thing to go out there and experience it for yourself. So yeah, she basically went to Cabo. She came to Cabo with me. I guarantee she wasn't expecting to want to get into the network marketing world with Now Lifestyle when she was heading over there. So she basically she left there with just like, I am getting in there. I didn't even have to ask her. She was like, I'm getting in this. I want in this I want in this right now. This is like right up my alley. And she just saw the vision. She saw it. She felt it, So yeah, that's going. These events are just it's really hard to put into words how informational they are. If any of you watching this video ever get a chance to go out there and network with some of your team leaders for whatever program that you're working or you're part of, I highly encourage you to do that. Take advantage of that, because it'll really put you on that next level.
Yeah, and I think
it really does.
That's
it does.
It's so hard to explain to people is that events will literally take your business to another level. And unless you actually get to an event, you actually experience it. It's very hard to understand that because you hear that from people all the time that go to events. So, I mean, obviously, Parker, in your opinion, getting to events are 100% worth it. And what's crazy is, you and I have been to similar events with two different companies. And I mean, I thought that the networking, the teamwork, the relationship building at the Cabo event that we were just at was better than anything I've ever seen.
It was. I mean, I just like how it's almost like family oriented, like it's so close. Doesn't really feel like a business anymore. It just feels like something like super exciting, like a family event, just so much good energy in the air. And I'm all about like positive energy and everything like that. And it's just, I really can't, it's really hard to explain what I felt over there.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you because going in, I was like, oh, I don't know if I should go. It's, international and this and that. And should I take the time off? And then one day I was just like, well, because of Daniel, he left us a really cool message. And I was like, you know what? Screw this. I'm going. Whatever happens, happens. I'll deal with it when I come back.
And it's funny because screw it wasn't the word that you used, but okay.
I cannot use the other one in here.
But yeah, I mean, like most companies out there, I mean, you, and I know y'all probably heard this term before, kind of if you're working for these big publicly traded companies, you're really just a number. Like, how important are you to the higher ups in that company? You don't ever know. You may not ever get to talk with them ever. But it's not like that with Now Lifestyle. I mean, we actually, you can go and you can interact with the head guy who started this entire thing. And he's one of us, he's just down to earth, and it was just a great experience,
It was totally different. So, I mean, sitting there and having your coffee with Joe and you're having breakfast and just the way he is with everyone, like so caring and so genuine. And every time any of us had any kind of question, even though he probably answered the same question 20 minutes ago to somebody else, he would just do it and be like, okay, come on, I'll explain this to you again.
Yeah.
Until, and it was awesome. And with the other leaders too, everybody was just, just amazing. Anything you wanted, everyone would just give you the information, tell you, help you, show you and guide you in the right direction, which I was not expecting before I got there.
I mean, one of the things that I just want to highlight too, and Juana, I'm going to put you on the spot here too, because getting to events is crucial because, Parker, you said it's life-changing. You get to meet tons and tons of great people. You get to build relationships. It is like a family. But also you got to realize too that, and Joel says this too, there's a lot of networking that goes on at these events. There's a lot of team building. There's a lot of relationship building. And, Juana, because you did say, blanket, I'm going to this event, right? You had the chance to speak with Joel, have coffee with Joel, build a relationship with Joel. And now, because you did that, because you stepped out of your comfort zone, because you said, yes, I'm going to this event, literally weeks after that event, Joel reaches out to you and says, hey, I would like you to captain the Now Lifestyle Ladies Only Facebook group page. And that's an honor, and for him to ask you to do that, but it was because of you saying yes to going to that event. So when we sit here and we tell you guys that events can be life-changing, I mean, how cool is that?
Yeah, that was something very unexpected. I had no idea. And I just saw this message and it's like, let me introduce you to Eve. And I want you guys to do this. What do you say? Well, how can you say no? I mean, chances like this don't come often. And just because, you try and you do your best to get yourself to one of these, your life can literally change overnight. And you never know which direction that might come from. So, yeah.
And also, too, now that page is open, you guys have grown, up over 400 members in days?
Yeah, in 10 days.
That's crazy.
Absolutely.
That is crazy. And all because you said yes to going to an event.
Yeah.
So they can literally be life-changing.
Best decision I made.
And I know Shane, I know you're going to be at the next one, brother.
It will be. I missed it.
We are flying to Texas if we have to and dragging you to Miami.
Yeah. Oh, I'll be there for sure. No doubt about it.
Trust me.
I totally missed meeting two of the guys that I had been wanting to meet for a long time, and that was Nick and Vincent, of course.
Yeah,
I've been following those guys for so long that it was just it hurt when I saw Dan go live with those two guys, and I was like, oh man.
That was also the cherry on top, just making like some really cool friendships with them. They're just, I can't say 1 in a million because there are 2 of them, so 2 in a million.
Yeah, they're up there. Yeah. 2 extraordinary network marketers for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, at this point, if you guys want to hit anything else, we can definitely do that. But I also want to, for the folks that are watching, we can definitely open it up to some Q&A.
There's a couple of questions.
Yeah, if you guys want to ask Parker or Shane or Juana anything that they're doing to build their business, to network with people, any questions that you guys want at this point, feel free to open those up. I know Brad's asking a question now. When is the next event? There aren't any dates officially right now, but Joel specifically did mention that the next event will be in Miami, and it will most likely be in November. Probably, in the beginning of November, because we don't want it to be too close to Thanksgiving around the holidays, but it's most likely in Miami in November. So stay tuned for more information there once we get it. But
yeah, so just get your questions in, guys. We'll try to answer them for you the best we can.
I noticed we did have another double diamond rock star, Tissa Godovatani, in the house. What's up, brother? Tissa, man, it was awesome meeting you face to face, man. Just a true, genuinely awesome, amazing dude right there.
So Vladimir is asking us, how is the most effective way to get leads?
Shane, I think that's up your alley, bro.
The most effective way to get leads is to put it into your own hands. I love solo ads. It's a great thing to do when you are just beginning, and even to do some to run some ads while you're in between managing your own campaign. But learn how to run your own ads. Get very effective and good at creating ads. I almost exclusively right now run ads on Bing and AdWords, and I've had a lot of great success just running it on my own. It really cuts down your cost, and then just make sure that you have a very effective capture page. Make sure you're taking a look at your headlines and that capture page consistently. Nearly every single day you should be taking a look at those pages and just rereading everything that you've put onto those capture pages. And for me, that's the best way to capture leads, to learn a skill for yourself and put it in your own hands. Put your destiny in your own hands.
Shane,
basically learn a skill and run with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shane, just to be realistic with everyone, and we kind of share this with people all the time, but when you're first starting out, it's always good to maybe use a solo ad, because you can have some traffic flowing, and while that traffic is flowing in the background, then you can take that time to learn another skill. So realistically, how long did it take you to get moderately consistent with your pay-per-click ads?
Yeah, I would say probably around 3 months.
3 months
to get to the point where I was actually, where I was getting to the point where I was actually breaking even. Really, beyond that, I started to get to the point where I am now pretty consistently making money each month.
Mm-hmm.
So you learn what you have to do to really drive down those costs and into convert people. So, and it's not just the ads. I mean, it's your landing page, it's your follow up, it's your emails. I mean, it's one whole package. It's all the basics, right? So, but yeah, I mean, it probably took 3 months at least to get to the point where I was actually breaking even.
Awesome. So, I mean, you took the time, you learned a skill, and now, I mean, realistically, you're at a point where, I mean, because you're in my downline, so I can see it. Yeah. Like you're literally sponsoring people every single day because you took the time to learn that skill. So, I just want to throw a shout out to Courtney here because she joined in a couple months ago, and then she kind of went radio silent for a little while, and now she is ready to get back at it and get going. And she says she has a lot to learn, but that's just it. If you take the time to learn, what we're teaching and what's in the back office and what's available, you're learning skills that can provide the freedom for the rest of your life. If you just take the time to learn, you stay consistent, you never quit, and you do all the things that we've been talking about tonight.
But get back to, while you're learning, make sure that you're running solo ads. It's actually a very important thing to do to get traffic, hitting your landing pages, getting traffic, focusing your offer. I mean, that is, without that, you don't have anything.
I just want to.
Traffic is super, super important, and it should be one of the main skills that we all work on constantly, because without bringing in leads, you do not have a business. So,
yeah,
Parker, what do you use?
Well, I started out running solo ads to kind of build up my list. And I want to, back to his question, he said, how can you get leads? I mean, solo ads is going to be the easiest way to get leads. And probably the most affordable way if you find the right provider. You don't really want to go with the cheapest provider. You want to make sure that you have a provider that's going to give you quality leads. So, but that's going to be the most affordable and the easiest way to start building leads, start getting leads and building up your list. And then, Facebook ads, you're going to be able to really target in on the people that you're looking for, on your perfect avatar. But it's going to be a little bit more expensive. I say a little bit, a good bit more expensive. But yeah, solo ads is where I started, Juana. And I ran those for probably, I don't know, I built up my list to maybe about 7,000. And then I kind of shifted over. I didn't run any Facebook ads. I mean, I would sometimes do like, you can just kind of boost some ads that you kind of post in on your business page. I started doing a little bit of that, but that really wasn't working. So
it doesn't do much.
Yeah. Daniel, I hired, that third party group to start running some ads for me. And I've been doing that, and I've been getting good leads. So yeah, I started out with solo ads, and then I shifted over to Facebook ads, which is what I'm doing right now. I haven't ran any solo ads in a while, but I am fixing to test a couple of funnels that I just got finished building. I'm going to do so with solo ads.
But with the Facebook ads, do you agree with Shane's timeline with like the Bing and Google and stuff like that? It takes about 3-4 months until you can really narrow it down to get some consistent good results.
Yeah. Like he had mentioned, you want to run an ad at least a week or two to really see how it's performing. Don't activate it and run it for 48 or 72 hours or whatever, and you see you're not really getting anything and you just shut it down. You need to give it some time to really run through and see what it can do. And never just run one. I mean, run a couple of them. Obviously, all three of them are going to be different, like a different capture page or whatever, like, colors and your copy. And, maybe one of them has a lead magnet, giving something away for free. Just always do split testing. And I know a lot of you who are watching this video know what split testing is, but I highly encourage you to do that.
Split test everything. Your ads, your landing pages, everything.
Yeah. I just want to be clear for everybody here too. You guys got to realize that there's a lot of technical stuff that we're talking about here. Yeah. You know, pay-per-click, split testing, Facebook ads, boosted posts, all that good stuff. You just got to realize that having an online business, when you whittle it all the way down, is two things. Okay. Your business is traffic and conversions. That's it. That's your online business in a nutshell. And it's very easy to get lost in the minutia of like all the stuff that's in between there. So, but if you just focus on traffic and just like Shane said, you know, develop a skill, learn a skill and get really, really good at, you know, one source of traffic. And then once you have consistent leads coming in, well, guess what? Now you can focus on the conversions. So your conversions are your emails, any videos that you make, you know, emailing your list consistently, just like Parker had mentioned earlier. There's many different ways that you can focus on conversions, split testing capture pages, split testing different videos that you send your list that you try to get people to, you know, get back into your opportunity. But those are your two elements that you really need to focus on for your business: traffic and conversions. That's it. Everything that we're talking about here is just different, you know, variations of those two things.
Absolutely.
Yes. We have another question from Brad, and he's asking if we have a preference between just picture ads or video ads.
Well, I'll go ahead and say I haven't run any video ads, but it's been on the top of my mind, and I probably will start doing that. As a matter of fact, I've been working on a little video that I made in Cabo.
That you shared today.
Yeah, that one right there. So yeah, I'm actually using it in one of my funnels too. But it's got some additional clips in there and whatnot. But yeah, I'm really looking into incorporating a video into my paid Facebook ads. I'll be doing that pretty soon. I see both out there. I don't know what performs better, so I really couldn't answer that question. But I know I'm interested in doing the video ads.
Yeah, and it probably depends on the product or what you're promoting as well and stuff like that. But the cost for sure will be different between picture and video. So you have to be prepared for that. From what I know, video ads are a little bit more expensive than picture ads, but it can also bring in, you know, a lot more engagement. So it all depends. You have to test it out and see if it works for you or not.
Right. Back to that split testing.
Shane, have you used video ads at all?
Not yet, but I do know statistically those are generally you know, they're higher converting.
Okay. Oh, they're higher conversion?
Yeah, generally.
And more,
because you
more
can connect
pricey
with people
too?
Honestly, I've seen it the opposite. I've seen that the views per cost is cheaper than the other way around.
Okay.
I think what's interesting is I actually had with Facebook ads, I had a video ad that I did probably, I don't know, 2-3 months ago, and I swore that because it was a video ad, it was very upbeat, it was very motivational and all that good stuff. It dropped a lot of good hints that it was going to convert way better than the picture ad. And then we split tested them and picture ad won. So, I mean, you never know which one is going to work better until you test. So that's why I know Shane and Parker, you guys both said it, like testing is very, very important.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Exactly. I know, like for all of us, I think you're using an ebook too, Shane, right? For some of your ads?
No, actually I don't
at all?
I don't have a lead magnet right now.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the other three of us, we are really kicking butt with ebooks. They work really, really well for both Facebook and Instagram. So that's always another option for you guys. If you don't know what picture to put, just create an ebook and use that as a lead magnet. People really like when you have something to offer for free.
Sure.
Yep. Yeah. I know Brad asked a question here. What pictures and images do you use for ads? I know specifically for me for Facebook ads, which I do use a lead magnet. I do use an ebook, but the picture on the ad itself it's typically lifestyle. and it's typically got a lot of color. So if I'm at the beach or if it's a picture of me, like the one that I have right now is a picture of, it's on one of the balconies at the Leaders Mansion in Cabo, and I'm sitting, in a chair and I'm looking out over the ocean, and it has like, some of the island and not the island, some of the peninsula and the homes in the background. But like those type of shots work really, really well. Anytime you can throw in like a lifestyle, and it doesn't have to be, you don't have to be sitting on a beach on a cliff. You could be, walking your family down in the park, having a great time and everyone's smiling. But as long as that picture is going to resonate with other people, that's all that matters. But again, just like you split test everything else, you can split test different pictures and find out which ones work best. But usually lifestyle work really good.
Yeah. And we do recommend to be a personal picture of you. So don't just go out there and pick a model or somebody off the internet. Create a picture of you and put that in, because it's your story usually that goes with the ad and with everything else that you're offering. So you want people to get familiar with you.
Yeah, don't do cheesy stuff like pictures of money.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, I mean, you're really trying to brand yourself. So absolutely, I agree with Juana and Daniel. Definitely have an image of you. And to back up a little bit, as far as like what pictures work better, what I did for my ebook, because I'm using the cover of my ebook for my ads right now, I actually had two different images made for my book. One of them is to basically appeal to the older crowd, the more mature crowd, and then another one to appeal to the younger crowd. So I actually had like a different outfit on for one of them. So you may want to do that. Again, it goes back to the whole split testing thing.
Exactly. I have one too where it's like my entire face, and then I have one that I believe sideways or something. Just it's a fun picture of me on the bicycle, just testing it out to see which one will catch on.
Yeah, exactly. I think I'm in a suit in one of them, and then another one I'm just like in a t-shirt, and it's got a different
seen that one.
Things like that. So, yeah.
Brad's asking how much for an ad, and honestly, that's that really depends. There's a lot of factors that go into final cost of an ad, but generally you're looking at pay per click. So depending on how many times an ad is clicked on will depend on how much you end up paying. And then there's a lot of factors involved, and I'm not going to go in all the technical behind of what makes an ad cost a certain amount, but generally there's a lot of statistics in there that will drive up or drive down costs. So
absolutely.
Can you give us a range though? Usually, like per lead, between like what $1 and $5 would be a good run.
Yeah. So
standard is about $3 to $5 a lead.
Yeah, okay. Generally that's about average.
When you can get really good and you start knowing your numbers. And guys, let's just be realistic here. Like this takes time. And if you're going to learn the skill, whether it be pay-per-click or it be a Facebook ad, it's going to take you time. And I'll give everyone, these are my realistic numbers. Some days I can get leads for 50 cents a lead. But I average, about $1 to $2 a lead on average. But when I first started out, this was last October, I was doing $5 per day with my ads, $5 a day. All right. But fast forward about 8 months, once I started to get the numbers dialed in and, the lead cost at a respectable, really good level, I was able to scale from $5 a day all the way up to $100 a day. So you can imagine, getting, 4 to 5 leads a day to 10 leads a day to 50 leads a day to 100 leads a day. You can do that, but don't go right off the bat and start spending $100 a day if you don't know your numbers. You got to take time, learn the skill, get good at it, and then you can scale from there.
Yeah, that's exactly what ended up happening to me when I first got started. I literally was probably paying $80 a lead or something ridiculous like that. I mean, it was horrible because I really didn't know what I was doing. And, I was trying to scale up way too fast and I lost a lot of money up front. So make sure you when you create ads just on just about any platform, they give you the ability to set a budget, a daily budget. So, figure out what your budget is, what you can afford, and stick to that budget. Make sure that you're not going over that budget. So, if it's $5 a day, then great. If it's $15 a day, then wonderful. But stick to that budget.
Exactly, because you can still get great results just with $5, $10 a day, and that's how you learn, and that's how you find out which audience
ads,
exactly
what ads
works
are doing
with
the best,
you.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think on Facebook, I think the minimum is $5 a day, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, especially when you're just starting out and especially when you're split testing. Yeah, because you're going to be running 2, 3, or 4 different ads. $5 a day on each of those is going to be the way to go. That's about as cheap as you're going to be able to get.
Yep. But well, I would say that we covered a heck of a lot of information tonight, and we're coming up on the hour marker here. So if there are any other questions, feel free to toss them in. I know you guys definitely had some really good questions. I know Brad was firing on all cylinders there. But if you guys have any more questions, get them out now. Other than that, Parker, my man, appreciate you being on here as your very first webinar. It's too bad Jennifer couldn't join us, but I'm sure she'll join us on the next one. That's cool.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no, our pleasure, man. But I think that 100% Jennifer's going to be a rising star, just like yourself, and you guys are going to be up on those leaderboards real soon.
That's the goal.
Yeah, we'll make it happen, Captain.
Yeah. No
And
doubt.
Shane, pleasure as always. Glad to see you back in the fold and back from traveling all over the place.
Yeah, I'm so glad to be back too. I just can't even tell you. It's like just a weight off my shoulder.
We missed you.
I get to really enjoy my desk again here at home. So.
Yeah, and obviously, Juan, our pleasure. Appreciate you the value, and especially sharing stuff about the event and the videos and everything else. I didn't see any more questions come in, but
no, I think that's it for tonight.
Awesome.
Cool
Awesome.
deal.
Well, guys, thanks for throwing down some mad value tonight. And now we can ILT. We can take this video. We can save it to YouTube. We can share it with our list, and you guys can do that same thing too and share this great information, because there was a lot of value. And obviously, Parker, was great to hear your story and your why and making your decision. And everybody added some really good stuff. So appreciate you guys hanging out with us on this Friday night. We had a lot of views. Start throwing down some likes, some love, and I see a lot of hearts and thumbs ups flying across the screen. So appreciate you guys for jumping on board and hanging out with us. Guys, any last words?
That's it. I mean, for everybody listening, y'all just keep pressing forward and take massive imperfect action, which is what Daniel was telling you.
Mm-hmm.
It'll pay off in the long run. Promise you.
Awesome.
Yeah, for me, just like always, if you guys need anything, reach out to one of us. We're always here. Otherwise, keep on working. Don't give up.
Awesome.
Right
That's
on.
right.
All right,
I'm
cool,
always
guys.
here as well. Just reach out to me. Send me a friend request. I'm always happy to help and talk about ads, being ads, and those types of things, and building custom landing pages. I actually have several different personal custom websites that I use for landing pages as well. So that's a whole nother conversation.
Awesome. Well, appreciate the value, guys. And I mean, you guys here, you guys that are watching right now, you got the olive branch extended out to you for anyone that needs help or advice, or if you just want to bounce an idea or anything, then you guys have this amazing resource in this community. You have amazing leaders here that are offering to help you guys. So take massive, imperfect action, stay consistent. Don't ever think about quitting. Hopefully you guys saw Joel's video from yesterday where he was using a couple of cuss words in there, but it was very, very powerful video because he spoke the truth, and that's just it. So other than that, signing off tonight. You guys have a great night. We'll see you live on the next video.
Yes,
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.